President Richard Nixon, Leo Fender, Bobby Hatfield, Florence Griffith Joyner, Nicole Brown Simpson, C.S. Forrester, and Glenn Martin are names that are well known to most, but there are so many others whose names are not as well known, but contributed just as much to our country's history as they did. And that's what I've tried to do in this book, is try to bring some stories that people might not know their names, but their deeds and misdeeds in a lot of ways are just as important. Since the late 1700s, Orange County has been a lure for those seeking fame, wealth, and opportunity. Explorers, fortune seekers, scalawags, entertainers, and sports stars have all been drawn to the golden shores of Southern California. Orange County is a land of many faces. It is a place where summer never ends, obviously by the city. It's where the happiest place on earth meets the Real Housewives of Orange County. Our county is this and much more, as we know, as residents. The historical roots of our area run much deeper than anyone has ever been led to believe. It is hard to imagine what this county looked like 200 years ago. The casual observer has to look really deep to find the cultural and historical heritage of our region. In this book, I have attempted to find and include as many of the famous graves as possible. I used 3 criteria. 1, obviously they had to be dead. Number 2, they had to be buried within the boundaries of Orange County. And 3, they had to contribute something important to the history or culture of Orange County, California, the U.S., or the world in general. We all have a story to tell, and the people I have chosen to write about all lived as we lived, and their stories have needed to be told for a long, long time. Why are their lives and deaths fascinating to us? Is it that their joys, loves, triumphs, defeats, last moments, and final resting places all encompass a life we don't have? In other words, are these people more than the granite, the marble, and the bronze markers that mark their graves? I think the answer is simply yes, they are. They are more. And in the end, all of us really wants to be is just to be remembered. That was a very important point for me. Writing this book has been a great labor of love. Its incarnation has evolved over my entire lifetime. Through personal experiences, educational training, and professional opportunities, all have led me to write this book. In conclusion, the cult of celebrity in which many people propel themselves today has become a new form of religion. The searching out and visitation of the graves of famous people has become a growing pastime for a large number of fans. But whatever the reason for visiting the graves of the rich, famous, infamous, and noteworthy, the main enjoyment is being as close to our heroes as possible. As noted historian, Columbia University professor Gerda Lerner wrote, "What we do about history matters. The often repeated saying that those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them has a lot of truth in it. We can learn from history how past generations thought and acted, how they responded to demands of their time, and how they solved their problems. We can learn by analogy, not by example, for our circumstances will always be different than theirs will. The main thing history can teach us is that human actions have consequences, and that certain choices, once made, cannot be undone. They foreclose at the possibility of making other choices, and thus they determine future events. As Lerner stated above, history can be learned from, and the actions of the past have consequences on the future. Thus, by our presence in these cemeteries, there is an announcement of our unbroken chain to the past, a link that stretches back to the roots of our country, state, and nation. The acts and deeds of our forebears links us to the future. We can learn from their lives, thus making our lives in the present better. I hope that you will enjoy my book as much as I enjoyed writing it. Thank you very much for coming out this evening. Now we can move on to a short answer and question session.